In Ukraine, the baby business is booming. It's the new go-to destination for commercial surrogacy.
Where's your smiles? Not yet. Too young.
While it brings joy to some,
Шансы ей не давали никто, в принципе.
there's heartache for others. We uncover an ugly trade
I think these are cockroaches. They're all over the side.
and confront those responsible.
How many children that you oversee the birth of through your company are born with brain damage?
I've been reporting on international commercial surrogacy for over half a decade and revealed horrific cases of babies left behind in Thailand and India. Both countries have since banned commercial surrogacy for foreigners, but now a thriving trade has sprung up in Ukraine. Childless couples from around the world are travelling here because they're told it's safe and affordable. This is the new motherland.
When couples come to Kiev to engage in surrogacy, they'll get a sense of a bustling cosmopolitan city. But in reality, Ukraine is one of the poorest nations in Europe, with a third of the population living under the poverty line and tens of thousands of children in institutional care. Not to mention, this is a nation at war.
We kind of read up and made sure we were nowhere near a war zone. We kept, in touch with people who had been here and visited and were having babies, so it wasn't something that concerned us.
Irish-born Aussie Pamela Hardy survived cervical cancer, but the illness left her unable to fall pregnant. She and her partner Jon, who live in Sydney, explored surrogacy in a number of countries before settling on Ukraine. Finally, they have a daughter, Quinn, born here in Kiev with the help of a local Ukrainian woman.
Where's your smiles? Not yet. Too young.
I mean, we've had a great experience with our agency, with our clinic, with the hospital, with our surrogate.
What's up? What's up?
Commercial surrogacy, where a woman is paid to carry a child for someone else, is legal in Ukraine for heterosexual married couples who can prove there's a medical reason for their infertility. After that, the official regulations stop.
Your big moment.
While there are many parents with positive stories like Pamela and Jon, we've also uncovered a dark side to the Ukrainian surrogacy industry. Our investigation begins in the UK. Kate and Greg Smith, not their real names, tried for 12 years to have a baby, but Kate's diagnosis of polycystic ovary syndrome meant that nothing worked.
It just felt like a huge loss and a sadness. It felt like a gap and a hole in our life that we couldn't fill, no matter what we tried to do.
The couple researched the option of commercial surrogacy abroad, but didn't think they could afford it.
Something must have come up on my Google feed for Biotexcom for a Ukrainian surrogacy clinic, which even though it was very expensive, it kind of felt like it was doable. It could, in the future, if we did, we could do that and we could get it.
Biotexcom claims to be one of Ukraine's best and busiest surrogacy clinics, touting 100% guarantee you'll have a baby. The couple used Greg's sperm and a donor egg to impregnate a surrogate. Biotexcom made it clear they didn't want Kate to contact her surrogate directly, but the women managed to keep in touch secretly via social media.
I was able to just check in once every few weeks. I wasn't pestering her, but once every few weeks I would check in, and she was lovely.
That's how Kate found out her surrogate had developed problems around the 25th week of her pregnancy. The clinic told Kate nothing. Just 10 weeks later, baby Michael was born a little prematurely, and Kate and Greg rushed to Kiev. When she first held the baby, Kate knew something was terribly wrong.
My first initial thoughts were he was just very floppy, very sleepy still, and it kind of triggered something in me that something wasn't right for him.
Michael was discharged from hospital 8 days after birth, but Kate couldn't leave Kiev until she had a passport for him. She repeatedly asked for a specialist to see her baby, and after 4 weeks, an appointment was finally made.
As soon as the neurologist saw him, she said there's something wrong and he needs some scanning of his brain.
The scan established Michael had suffered brain damage, and he was immediately admitted to a public children's hospital, where Kate filmed these pictures on her phone.
This is the bed I'm meant to sleep on. It's obviously heavily stained. And they want me to put Mikey in here, but as you can see, that's blood.
I didn't realise the healthcare was that bad in Ukraine, because you're only shown the clinic, which is pristine, you're only shown private settings, which are pristine, but if you have a baby out there of a neurological condition, there's no private establishment that will take you, and so I wasn't prepared for the state of the state hospitals.
It would be 14 weeks before Kate could get her baby out of Ukraine and back to the UK. She's still haunted by how dire the public health system is in Ukraine.
I think these are cockroaches. They're all over the side. And this is where I'm meant to prepare the bottles. There's no kettle, so... oh, Jesus.
And she's still not sure what the impact will be on baby Michael's development. What happened to the Smith family is just one of many troubling stories I've heard about the commercial surrogacy industry here. I'm heading southeast to Zaporizhzhia to investigate another disturbing case. This city is one of the largest industrial centres in Ukraine, home to a range of heavy metal industries and high levels of pollution. I'm looking for an abandoned child, a little girl who was born via commercial surrogacy, then left behind by the parents who commissioned her birth. She's been living in this children's home since March this year.
Hi, Marina.
Before that, she was in a hospital where this woman, Marina Boyko, cared for her.
Привет, моя малышка. Привет, привет, привет. Иди ко мне. Ты испугалась. Ты испугалась.
This is Bridget. She's 3 years old. Her American parents chose the name, but her Ukrainian carers call her Brizzy.
Шансы ей не давали никто, в принципе. Сказали, что она будет слепая, она будет глухая, она никогда не будет кушать сама самостоятельно, потому что у нее не развита, ну, из-за вот этих вот проблем, из-за недоношенности, вот из экстремальная низкая масса тела. Мы уже просто в какой-то момент я заметила, что она отреагировала на шум. Она начала фиксировать взгляд, она начала смотреть. И вот тогда мы поняли, что есть шанс.
Born at 25 weeks and weighing just 850 grams, they won't say exactly what's wrong with Bridget, other than she has a range of developmental delays.
Показывает, она очень, она понимает хорошо обращенную к ней речь, она очень хорошо, она с ней общаться. Она понимает, там, телефон, я ей могу дать телефон, она берет трубку, она говорит «алло». Она понимает, что с ней разговаривают, что вот, она научилась очень.
Marina visits the little girl as often as she can on her days off.
Вот у нее такое чувство, мне так показалось, что ее бросили опять.
Не бери в рот.
Я ей рассказываю, я ей объясняю, что Бризя, я тебя не бросила, я к тебе приезжаю, я тебя люблю, но она же не видит меня все время. Поэтому я вот приезжаю все время сюда, я не могу ее предать просто еще раз. Так.
Полетели.
The head of the local child protection agency gives me some background about Bridget.
В березні місяці нам повідомила лікарня про те, що є така дитина, яка народжена саме вимушеною переселенкою з Донецької області, яка була сурогатною матір'ю, народила близнюків і саме пішла вже до діагнозів, де одна дитина померла за станом здоров'я і залишилась дівчинка.
Documents seen by Foreign Correspondent show that Bridget's twin brother died at birth and that she was very ill. Her parents are US citizens who commissioned their babies through the surrogacy agency Biotexcom. When Bridget was 5 months old, her parents sent a letter authorising her life support be switched off. It said she is in a vegetative state and has no chance of becoming a normal person. Doctors advise we stop any treatment so she can find peace. We will not take her to America. This baby is incurable. Bridget survived, but despite attempts by Ukrainian authorities to get advice about her future from her American parents, it took nearly 2 years for a second letter to be sent. That letter instructed that the baby be put up for adoption, but it isn't binding under Ukrainian law, leaving Bridget's status unclear.
Тобто вона зараз не має громадянства взагалі, я так розумію, тому що батьки американці, народжена тут, але вона не визнана там, тому я не можу сказати, що підтверджено, що вона є українкою.
Нельзя судить по ребенку, когда он только родился. Нам не нравится такой ребенок, мы хотели себе с голливудской улыбкой сразу.
What would you say to the Americans if you ever had the opportunity to meet them?
Не знаю, в первую очередь я бы им сказала, что у вас замечательная дочь, и, возможно... Я понимаю людей, которые оставляют детей, у которых там не позволяют, какие-то там жизненные ситуации. Но здесь я не понимаю совершенно.
I've spoken to couples coming to Ukraine for surrogacy, and I'm also keen to hear from the women at the heart of this industry, the surrogate mothers. I've been able to get in touch with a woman who worked as a surrogate mother for Biotexcom. We're heading 5 hours east of Kiev towards the regions of Luhansk and Donetsk, where the 2014 war played out. thousands of people displaced by the conflict fled to border towns like this one, Pervomaisk. They're stuck here now, unable to return home.
This is exactly the sort of Ukrainian town that the agencies are targeting to find their surrogates. It's remote and it's poor. For the women here, the money they'd earn from carrying someone else's baby is very hard to resist, and it's life-changing.
This woman was recruited here by Biotexcom and carried Kate Smith's baby Michael. She wishes to remain anonymous because she fears recriminations from the surrogacy company. She came here with her husband and baby son to escape bombing in the east, which destroyed their home. They had no money and no access to any help.
Он начал, говорит, может, почку продать. И просто наткнулась случайно на объявление в интернете. Потом начала в Google искать, вбивать, что это такое. И вот в группе ВКонтакте я списалась с девочкой, она ответила мне, что это такое, как происходит.
She tells me she first worked for Biotexcom as the surrogate for a Spanish couple. She was impregnated with 3 embryos, but then forced to terminate one so that she would only carry twins. This is to increase the chance of a successful pregnancy. Live births mean more money for Biotexcom.
Беременность меня поддерживали все время препаратами гормональными. И потом мы их просто прекратили. Прошло неделя, может. И у меня началось кровотечение.
5 months into the pregnancy, unable to stop the bleeding, she was told she'd have to have an emergency caesarean, and the babies died.
Я спросила, что делать с ними, потому что они были уже большие, чуть-чуть немножко, и они сказали кремировать их.
She eventually received the equivalent of about $200. Still desperate for money, she put herself forward again with Biotexcom, and this time became Kate Smith's surrogate. Again, she was impregnated with 3 embryos, and this time they terminated 2, hoping she would carry the remaining embryo to full term.
То, что они переводили, она спросила, что они очень рады, что один, они хотели одного ребенка. Тогда я спросила у переводчицы. Так было 3, мне делали редукцию. Она мне сказала, родителям об этом знать не обязательно.
She confirms what Kate Smith says, that bleeding started at 25 weeks. After a difficult pregnancy, she had another caesarean, and baby Michael was taken away immediately.
Нам один раз уже, когда мы были там 7 дней, я была 7 дней, мне пришли тогда и рассказали о ребенке, что у него есть проблемы, что...
I asked her how she feels about Biotexcom.
Им это все равно. А к суррогатным мамам, суррогаты, все, это просто поток, это инкубаторы, как они вот примерно это выражаются. Просто нет, ни как к человеку, ни к пониманию, нет.
These stories about Biotexcom come as no surprise to Sergei Antonov, a Kiev-based barrister who trained in Ukraine and Australia.
We have a very difficult legal system in Ukraine.
Sergei specialises in family law and surrogacy.
But how many would they have on the database?
Kate Smith approached him for legal advice about her Biotexcom contract, but he couldn't help her because the company isn't registered in Ukraine, but offshore in the Seychelles. It's not the only surrogacy agency set up like this.
Много агентств вообще являются фантомными, их вообще нет в природе. Нигде не зарегистрированы ни в Украине, ни за рубежом, но у них много ярких сайтов с рекламой, и дается контракт, в котором написано, что проводится программа в Украине, да, но Тот, кто организует программу, он не резидент Украины. И, соответственно, если возникает какая-то юридическая проблема, юристы с Украины, в принципе, не могут ее решить.
Вставай. Бризи, привет.
Meanwhile, caught up in her own bureaucratic nightmare, the fate of little Bridget is still uncertain, and the clock is ticking. If she isn't adopted, she'll be transferred at age 7 to another institution where there's no rehabilitation.
Сама. Не? На, держи. А когда, ну здесь рядом, но когда, если ее отдадут отсюда после 7 лет в интернат, то у меня, возможно, не будет такой возможности туда приезжать именно и вот так вот для нее я не знаю, что это будет тогда. Это вот просто... Чем больше стрессом, тем больше шагов она делает назад.
At age 18, she'll be sent to an old people's home. Marina Boyko is desperate to find her an alternative. Foreign correspondent has managed to track down Bridget's parents in America.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is this Matthew Etnier?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hello. My name's Samantha Hawley. I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Matthew Etnier and Irmgard Pagan live in California. We've been in Ukraine and we've seen your daughter, Bridget. And we're doing a story on Bridget and how she was left in Ukraine by yourself. And I'm just ringing to see whether or not you want to be part of the program. We've filmed with Bridget and the nurse that has been caring for her for the past 3 years. And Bridget... Mr. Etnier doesn't deny being Bridget's father. So these are...
Okay, I wish I had a pen. Yeah, I have talked to my wife.
Yes. But he's not keen to tell me their side of the story or take responsibility for Bridget.
I don't really want to talk to you right now about it. I need to talk to my wife.
I've come to Biotexcom headquarters. I'm surprised my request for an interview with the owner, Albert Tochilovsky, has been granted. The company is in downtown Kiev on a huge, purpose-built site. It's a one-stop baby-making shop. In May last year, Tochilovsky was briefly placed under house arrest amid allegations of child trafficking, document forgery and tax avoidance. But to date, he hasn't been brought before the courts.
This is Albert.
Oh, hello. Samantha Hawley, so nice to meet you.
This is Dennis. He's our legal advisor.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you too.
We were promised a sit-down interview, but then we're told he's only got 10 minutes.
Okay. Do you know Matthew Etnier? He was a client of yours who left a baby behind in Zaporizhia.
Нет, это не наш клиент. Это вранье. Это чистое вранье. Мы можем поднять сейчас базу. У нас такого клиента 100% не было.
We have seen documentation that he was your client, an American client. He had twins, one died. He left the second behind.
Этнер. Не было такого клиента. Может быть, кто-то на нас документы оформил, но такого быть не может. У нас мы можем позвать главврача, такого по программе у нас не было. Представитель американского, английского и австралийского отдела вот по Этнеру. Какой Этнер, который бросил у нас?
Я не помню. I do not remember any such client of ours. And of course, I appreciate that we have a lot of clients, but believe me, such situation we would have remembered.
At this point, Mr. Tochilovsky offers to do an investigation into the case of the Etniers and little Bridget. He claims it's probably the fault of another agency pretending to be Biotexcom,
How many cases have you overseen where babies have been born with brain damage?
And now we get a telling admission.
Тяжелый вопрос. Были случаи вот с повреждением мозга, когда меня меньше интересует, честно говоря, даже родители. Меня больше интересует, чтобы суррогатные мамы не страдали в такой ситуации, когда сложное родоразрешение. Ну да, сейчас это массово.
But Albert's concern for his surrogates doesn't stack up with the stories we've heard, and his claims other agencies are trying to sabotage his company's reputation are unconvincing. There is one Ukrainian official keeping a very close eye on surrogacy agencies offering their services to foreign couples. Nikola Kuleba is the children's ombudsman, and he's extremely disturbed by how many agencies behave.
What's your opinion of the surrogacy agencies that are operating here in Ukraine?
Це аморальний бізнес, який приносить шкоду. Говорять про те, що ці фірми, скоріш за все, не обходять, кому, для чого вони це роблять, як вони це роблять, кому вони віддають дитину. Їх більше цікавлять заробітки.
And then he reveals Bridget isn't the only child who's been abandoned.
Я можу налічити до 10 випадків, це ті, про які мені відомо. Але я можу припускати, що є випадки, які невідомі мені.
He's lobbying the newly elected president of Ukraine to introduce tougher legislation to better protect surrogate mothers and children.
Oh, hi, baby. Hello.
Back in the UK, baby Michael has celebrated his first birthday, and Kate and Greg have focused on giving him the best possible start in life.
You don't know what's going on, do you?
His doctors can't say yet how badly he'll be affected, but so far he's doing really well.
I don't regret it because I just have the most beautiful baby boy, so I don't regret it at all. And he is amazing, and to us, perfect in every single way. But it was a reckless decision to make. It was a reckless decision to make because we felt informed when we weren't.
Пошли. Молодец, молодец.
For Bridget, the family love that is helping Michael to recover is missing. She has just 4 years before the treatment she's receiving stops altogether.
Марина тут, Бризи. Марина тут.
Marina Boyko is convinced that Bridget needs just one thing to make her future bright.
Все, Марина тут. В первую очередь найти семью, которая будет ее любить. Это самое главное для нее, то, что для нее может быть. Больше, в принципе, это основное. Неважно, где это будет семья здесь, это будет семья в другой стране, неважно где. Главное, чтобы ее любили, чтобы она чувствовала, что ее любят. Лично для меня это, наверное, самый лучший, самый красивый, самый радостный, самый умный ребенок, который вот вообще может быть. Я не знаю, как сказать по-другому, но так, я сейчас буду плакать. Но она самая лучшая. Так, все, не снимайте. Я не знаю, как сказать, просто я ее люблю. Я не могу ничего больше сказать.